Hi again, everyone. I'm Ollie Matthews. This is the Narcissistic Resistance, and this resistance video is sponsored by contribution from Natalia. And Natalia wrote in, the last one was, "You're always an it to the narcissist." And the one before that is, "The narcissist puts your abuse on display." Hello, Ollie. Thank you again for your comments and advice, and thank you, Vincent. Your sponsorship is very much appreciated. I know office cleaning is not my calling in life, but it was a safe and familiar choice for me. I have done cleaning jobs before, and it just felt safe. Even I know it's not good for me and my self-esteem. Can you believe that I had two job offers, this cleaning job and a normal office job? It would have paid twice as much as I'm getting paid now. Self-sabotage, maybe. I have so-called high-level education background, but I didn't like what I was doing. So I had a battle in my mind, which one to choose, and the cleaning job won. The hatred towards my real career just was and is so bad. I couldn't see myself sitting in some office again, wasting my life away. So I ended up cleaning the office. How ironic. I'm such a loser. Damn. And a quick update about the pervert at work. This morning while I was changing my work clothes she wanted to show me some picture from her phone. It was about this robotic cleaning machine that our company uses. I changed my clothes inside this old shower space just to avoid her looking at me. Well, that doesn't work now anymore. I basically rush myself so that I get inside before her and then move in lightning speed to get changed before she comes in. I think I'm going to have to change my clothes in the bathroom in the future. Now hearing her footsteps in the hall walking towards the locker room makes me a little bit nervous. It reminds me of those years I lived with my parents. No privacy with these narcs. I hate this. Always I have to change and limit my life because of these narcissists. I have this super hearing and all senses alert all the time with the narcs in my life. You never know from what corner they might jump out from. It's very tiring to live like that. I am quite jumpy person because of that. Especially any sudden high-pitched noises make me jumpy. At home it was the same thing. Dad just happened to take his clothes to the laundry basket while I was taking a shower in our bathroom. The laundry basket was just outside the bathroom door. I can hear him open the door to that room where the laundry basket was. He did this when I was a teenager and young adult. He specifically came home that exact time I was taking a shower from wherever he was. He knew when I went to the shower. I had to change my schedule so that I could avoid this incident of hearing him sneaking into the clothing room and just standing there for a while. I was so scared that I took my towel with me into the shower right next to me so that I could at least cover myself if he decided to open the shower room door. But where could I go from there? Nowhere. I was stuck there. There was no lock on that door. Mom knew he did this strange behavior and told him not to do that, but he never stopped until they got divorced and he had to move out. I could finally enjoy taking showers again. That was such a relief. I felt I was free. They finally got divorced. Mom said they stayed together because of us kids. That comment just makes me so fucking mad. In our case, it would have been better if they had gotten a divorce early on. In fact, they should have never gotten married and had kids. Well, that damage is already done. And my dad's first comment about me was, "This is not my kid. She looks like a boy." And Mom told me that I wasn't a planned child and basically an accident. Nice. I was the one who said that they should get divorced, and that's always nice, like when your parents argue over, well, he takes after you, he's your child, he's your child, he's your child, he's yours. Well, that's just great. Who takes the blame? That does wonders for your self-esteem. Mom always made excuses. The fact that she needs Dad's craziness to make her look like the sane one. They never loved one another. They can't talk peacefully about anything. Everything's an argument. One evening I was watching TV by myself. It was around 9 p.m. He came home from some bar as usual. The strange thing is he doesn't drink. He just hangs around drunk people and looks at their faces. He needs people around him or he feels empty. His dad was an alcoholic and he said he will never be a drinker and smoker like his dad. So he came in and started eating something. And then he came into the living room and started to talk about some love poems. I didn't say anything, just kept watching the TV. He was so excited and continued explaining what an interesting love poem book he has been reading that day. Then he gave me the book. I didn't lift a finger to take it from his hand. I just acted like I didn't see it or hear him. Who wants a book of love poems from their father? Then he put the book on the edge of the sofa and said, "You should read it." And he even underlined some places that were good in his opinion. I looked at the book cover and knew the writer. He was a famous poet in my country. Who the fuck gives their daughter a love poem book? Weirdos. Yeah, that would be my dad, my lovely dad. I just got up and went to sit in another sofa. Mom came into the living room and saw the book and asked me what it was. I said, "I don't know." Asked Dad. "It's not mine." She picked it up and looked at it. Then she asked Dad what it is and whose is it. Dad just stuttered and said it was a good book and said that he bought it for me. Mom said normal fathers don't buy books like these to their daughters. You are sick. He just laughed nervously. He went past the living room after eating with a sick grin on his face. I just sat in the darkest corner of the living room. I wanted to disappear. Mom took the book and went outside and put it into the trash. What more can I say? Mom and I weren't that surprised about this. We were both like yet another crazy thing Dad did, added to a long list of things he had done. I was in my 20s then and living at home. He considered me a second wife or something crazy like that, and I blame my mom for that also, because she made me do the weekly food shopping with Dad since I was around 12 years old until I was 16. It was my responsibility to do the shopping, write the shopping list, pick, pack, and carry the food. Dad usually left the heaviest bags to me. Mom said she didn't want to do the shopping with him because she was ashamed to be shown with him. So she sends her daughter out. So basically all you are is cover. So really your mother was just serving you up knowing your father had this weird sexual proclivity towards his own daughter. But she doesn't care because she don't want to be seen with him. Now I got totally sidetracked. Back to the pervert at work and me changing my clothes. She came into the shower area and showed her pic while looking at me. Luckily I managed to put on my trousers already, but she stared at my top. The day before I caught her staring at my ass again. Jesus, closet lesbian, anyone. She also mentioned me today that I'm not getting any extra pay on December holidays because employees that have been in the company less than 3 months have no rights for extras. She does little jabs like that just to let me know my position on the ladder, which is at the bottom. Any questions she has and comments she makes are loaded with agendas. I know I have huge issues with authority, and the reason for this surely is my family dynamics. Mom made me take sides in their arguments since I was around 12, and I defended my mom almost always. My brother didn't say much anything. He was the silent one, just looking at his plate or to the ceiling or anything else, but not at our faces. This is what he does even now. When there is an argument, he leaves the room. If there's an important issue that has to be solved right away, he is nowhere to be found. He is an invisible man. He actually walks so quietly that me and Mom jump in the air when he passes by us. He's like a ghost. Even our cat is jumpy when he is around. Not that he is scary, but none of us can hear him coming. Not even our cat sometimes. That's very quiet walking, even if a cat can't hear you. and all of a sudden he's behind you saying something like, "Are you there? Are you?" You are then like, "What the fuck? Where did you come from?" He just continues what he was saying like nothing happened. We say to him to make some noise. We say to him to make some noise so we don't get scared. He doesn't change his behavior. And you're right about the boss thing. I don't have experience on being a supervisor and the responsibility it brings. It's just, I was just mad and wanted to blame someone. I'm just one of those who are lost with their life on what to do as a profession and what would be the real thing, the calling. Well, that is not completely true. I knew what I wanted to do, but it was slowly and surely eliminated by my mom's manipulation. I just got tired of fighting for my dreams. And finally, at some point, I forgot what I even wanted. I started living my parents' craziness. I didn't have my own life. Normal people in their 20s have their own lives and they move to their own homes. Not me. I felt that my task was to defend my mom from my dad's crazy behavior. Yeah, that's what your mom wanted you to believe your task was. That's all you've been doing is being a shield from your mother. Listen to her issues, have every fucking day complaining about dad, our financial situation, and her job. I always have been my mom's little helper, fixed things around the house, did renovations, took care of our garden, did the shopping with her, made dinner, cleaned the house. So basically I was her husband because dad didn't want to do anything. I had to even once make her doctor's appointment. She had one red eye and she was able to speak just fine. She told me to make the call on her behalf to the doctor's office. I had to use her social security numbers and all. The receptionist on the phone asked, "Why doesn't your mom make the appointment herself?" I don't remember what I answered. The funny thing is that she goes to work with fever and cold and being almost half dead. But when she had this one red eye, all of a sudden, she wasn't able to go to work. The appearance, she's obsessed with her appearance. A red eye would have been shameful. Why? I have no clue. It's just an infection. I don't know on that one either, to be quite honest with you. The final time I refused to visit home, she did this funny thing. I was supposed to go there and just hang around for a while. But usually she ends up listing me tasks to do the whole stay there. It's like, now you're coming to visit, you're going to be my slave. Usually she orders some furniture or something and I'm expected to help her put them together. My brother is not expected to do anything. She has labeled him lazy and this is true. Once she knew that I had to wake up at 3 a.m. to catch my train to get there. I was taking a nap at the sofa and she left her phone on in the living room table. Delivery guy was supposed to call before coming. I woke up to the phone and was yelling to my mom to answer it. I ended up answering the phone. I was so tired. She knew and saw I was sleeping there. She even asked before, "Why are you sleeping? Isn't it obvious?" Goddamn. I always had to explain the same thing several times a day. Whatever the issue was, she didn't like me doing. She had some dementia, but I've noticed narcs ask the same questions every day, as if they weren't listening to what you told them. I don't understand, because they don't listen. Look, you can sit there and talk to a narc until you're blue in the face over and over and over again. And I'll tell you what, this happened at work. This happened to me at work in Jersey City. And we were about to go in to one of these meetings where we had to present our shortage plan. It was like a planning meeting to go into that meeting. And I was having major problems with the store manager because he didn't listen. The guy was such a friggin' narcissist himself. You could have a 20-minute conversation with him and he didn't hear a word of it because he's off thinking about something else. And I had said this going into a meeting before with his boss and my boss's boss. I'm like, look, and they started like getting in my face, like, how dare you say that about the storm? How dare you? And like, okay. And we were in a meeting, and lo and behold, We had this 20-minute specific conversation about this topic. Detailed conversation. Boom, boom. All like it was like just like one of those. It was this topic that if you brought it up, you knew it was being discussed. 20 minutes. We finish. We move on to the next topic. We're maybe 2 minutes discussing the next topic. He jumps in at me like trying, because he had been making complaints about how fucked up I was. He jumps in saying like, oh, well, what about such and such topic? Are we going to, this is what... And I just looked at the two who had yelled at me before we went in there, looked at him, and he's like, what? And I put my pen down, and my assistant was sitting right next to me. And I'm like, I think we need a break right now. I'm like, you need one too. Because they weren't going to scream at him with me in the room. They knew I had them. They knew they looked like fucking idiots at that point. And that ended that. So yeah, why they do that is they don't hear a word you say. They tune you out because they're in their own heads. Yet they remember things you said during an argument. What's up with that? Because they're not listening during an argument. They're trying to remember things you said. That's why. Those words are never forgotten in the narc's head. It's like spoken in anger by you are the only ones that register in the narc's mind, and all the rest are just some kind of space noise. Thing that they are important to you are only white noise humming in the air. Exactly. And now at work, the pervert asked almost every day about my work shoes. I think so far it's been 4 times she asked, are those new shoes of yours? Jesus, they are good. Still. Is she expecting a different answer or just trying to make conversation? It's annoying. She's trying to find out how much you paid for them. She's just plugging you for information. Back to the furniture delivery thing. I went to tell Mom that the delivery man is coming, and she was downstairs doing something totally useless. She left the phone on purpose. She left the phone on purpose on the living room table to make me be her secretary and be woken up by the phone ringing. I still ended up building some furniture that evening. I felt obligated, and if I dared to refuse, she would have started some blaming game and sulking like she did before. In that case, I refused to help her build her furniture, and she was angry and didn't speak to me the whole evening. I came from school at 4 p.m. and it was Friday. She gave me a break. She expected me to start building IKEA stuff, which is a headache on itself just reading those instructions. But this summer I didn't go there, and she was planning to go to the shops with me and buy something big. I had no say. She makes the plans for me. I didn't go, and I was punished. My brother texted me that my mom took my bike and used it to carry her stuff home from the shops. She never even touched my bike before. She thought that this would have gotten me mad, but I was just laughing by myself. She knew that bike was one of my most important possessions at home, even if it's old. She gave that to me as a gift when I was a teenager, but luckily I had some knowledge on how narcs behave when setting boundaries between them and you. I texted my brother, good, my bike is some use to someone. Mom didn't say or text anything about this, and the final straw for her was when I stopped texting her every day. It was our thing. She invented it. First it was phone calls daily, as if there is much to talk about on a daily basis anyway. Then she texted every fucking day. And God help me if I didn't answer back. She called me. Usually then I was in the shower. And after I came out, there was 1 or 2 missed calls and a voice message. I just sighed. I can't even take a shower without her in the back of my mind, because I knew she would call if I didn't answer her text right away. And the voice message was always sounding so worried, as if something bad happened to me. She made me live in constant worry of her worrying about me. It's twisted. She did this way to try to make me worry about her as well. Even I wasn't worried, even if I wasn't worried about her until she made me think like that. It's difficult to explain, but on those messages, she just calls my name and pauses and asks, "Are you all right? What happened to you? Call me back." And sometimes I could hear her talking to my brother at the end of the message saying, "It doesn't answer." Yes, the it again. And it and all the other nicknames. I almost never call I was almost never called by my real name. And Mom came up with this fucking mocking name for me. She calls me Granny. She came up with this name when I was a teenager and wore my hair in a bun. She used to mock my hair because I started to wear it my own way and not the way she wanted. Fucking Granny. She would call me Granny even today if I would talk to her. My brother also calls me Granny. Even I have told them not to call me by that name. They just continue to find it so amusing. Yeah, they called me by a lot of different names to drive me crazy. It's just what they do. And by the way, she is told even at work that she never wants to be a grandmother, and she is proud of telling that to the world. This is not normal. Aging for her is kryptonite. Oh, I just remembered the last time I hugged Mom while I was leaving home. She hugged me and said, "You don't look like my child, and you look like your dad," and it made a puking sound. And there it goes right back again. Nobody wants to take responsibility for you. It's like your narcissistic parents arguing over who's to blame for you your whole life. This wasn't unusual behavior from her. She despises Dad. She used to say often, "You're not the same daughter I raised up. You've changed." I said sometimes to her, "Well, maybe I'm not your child and you are not my mother." She couldn't stand me becoming my own person. It was strange. The first time I started to think that maybe my mom is not the victim of my dad, she saw it right away. I didn't say anything, but she just knew it. She looked me up and down, trying to find where the new me was, so that she could plug it out of me. My mom's look of judgment, all it takes is that look and you feel like you have to start defending yourself against whatever comes out of her mouth next. She is proud of her skill to spew out poisonous words. She even made the snake woman cry with her words, and somehow the snake woman ended up apologizing from her in order to break up Mom's silent treatment, which she is doing to me at the moment, hoping that I would do the same thing, come begging for her attention and forgiveness. Not gonna happen. Never. It's over. I would rather die than ever go back. Mom is those narcs that are respected by everyone else. She is the wise one everyone comes to ask advice from. She's always been the leader of groups at schools, hobbies, work, and even her parents let her be the boss in the family. She used to physically punish her siblings on behalf of her parents. I don't know what this was, but let's call it my brain puke, with no specific point this time. It looks like I have some issues with showers and didn't even know that. It was good to write this down. Thanks for reading this and have a good weekend, Natalia. Really, Natalia, what I think here overall is this is the damage you get when you're in that situation where your parents blame each other for you. And you just go through life as something that you need to be blamed over. Your whole life is blame. Should have never been born as a child. This is your child. This is your child. He's your child. He's your child. So I guess I don't belong anywhere then. Thanks a lot. So, Thanks so much for your contribution and story, Natalia. I really appreciate it. Thanks everybody watching. Please leave any opinions or advice in the comment section below. And again, if you want your story read on the channel, you have a topic you'd like me to cover, a narcissist you'd like to expose, you'd like to set up Skype, a phone call, have a private video made, or a Facebook live chat, or you'd like to sponsor a video like this for someone who needs help and can't afford it, or just make a contribution to the channel in general to keep it supported, growing, and expanding, because this channel survives 100% on contributions from all of you. Without you, this all goes away. So if you like what you see here and you want to see more videos like this, you know what to do with the PayPal and email link in the description box. Also, please like and share this video wherever you can. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't, and be sure to click the subscription bell to be notified of all my video uploads. I'm Ollie Matthews. This has been the Narcissistic Resistance.